Hey guys, if you're new to Kagurabachi, I just made a video where I go over all 51 chapters of the series. So if you watch that video before coming into this one, it's going to make everything make sense. And even if you already do follow Kagurabachi, watching that video is just a good way to refresh yourself with some stuff that maybe you haven't read in a while. Thanks. So we're moving away from the previous chapter where we saw Samura, the contracted owner of the enchanted blade Tobimune, taking out a bunch of assassins that the Hishaku sent after him. The Hishaku are like the Akatsuki of this series, and at this point in their planning, they're trying to kill all of the contracted owners of the enchanted blades. And Chihiro is trying to protect two of them at the moment. Although he hasn't reached Samura yet, he was protecting Aruha until he was encountered by a Hishaku member named Hirohiko. Hirohiko is trying to kill Aruha, and it eventually led to he and Chihiro being split away from Aruha and Hakuri, and that's the fight that we're actually coming back to in this chapter between Chihiro and Hirohiko. But first, we're seeing this flashback of Chihiro talking to Hiyuki, where it's revealed that the Hishaku only really started doing their big grand plan that they've been, doing since the beginning of the series 4 years ago. So that's like 1 year before they killed Chihiro's father and stole the enchanted blade. So something happened, and they were like, yeah, now's the right time. And I'm sure it will be revealed later, like why 4 years is special, like something specific happened at that time. It also could be leading to like a countdown, maybe. Like whatever their big plan for the swords are has to be completed within 7 years or something like that, because at this point some special supernatural event will happen. Just a possibility. But they still ultimately don't really know what the Hishaku's main goal is, saying that they're always one step behind, which is true because it's ambiguous at this point. But Chihiro says that we need to break that pattern, and we come to the present where he's fighting against Hirohiko, and he ultimately wants Hirohiko to expose what the Hishaku's plan is one way or another. And Hirohiko reveals that he's 18, the same age as Chihiro, and that ultimately he thinks that they could be friends because they're very similar, both killing people so young, and I guess just being prodigies in this part of the world, I suppose. Chihiro, of course, doesn't want to be friends with Hirohiko, because first of all, part of the Hishaku, the group that killed his father, and also they're psychopathic, and Chihiro isn't. Even though they're both cold-blooded killers, there's a difference, I suppose, morality-wise, I guess. Because he's like, don't you dare equate me with your heinous deeds. But Hirohiko's like, nah, we're equals. So I don't know if this is literally where this is going. Hirohiko literally becomes friends with Chihiro eventually, or Hirohiko turns face possibly and becomes a member of the Kabunabi or something. I mean, I guess that's possible, but I don't think so. Although Chihiro does say that he wants to get information out of Hirohiko in this chapter, to stop being one step behind the Hishaku. So you'd think that he would play into the whole thing about them being friends so that he could manipulate him into giving him information, but I guess he's not going to do that. But after this, we see more of Hirohiko's sorcery, because he has this origami paper special ability, and we've seen him manipulate it into weapons and stuff before, but now we see that he could just straight up completely become paper and dissipate and just fly away. And as he's flying away, he reforms again and goes to a movie theater. It's also revealed that he is cut at the stomach here, and he's bleeding out, but I guess it's not affecting him too much. And while he's thinking, it goes further into the Hishaku's temporary plan here, where they have all of these, as it's mentioned, hired randos to help them kill the contracted users of the enchanted blades, and how they've been giving them the reverse engineered Datenseki that's Shoujo crafted, and how it can make you a beast, but you kind of already have to be a beast to reap the full benefits of it, because he says that the issue is the skill level of the wielder. So if you're an amateur and you don't know how to fight, you're only going to get so far with the amount of power it can give give you. But if you're skilled, then you could bring out the full potential of it and really get crazy. But considering that they hired a bunch of quote-unquote randos, you know, the skill level was all over the place. But then we see that the 3 assassins that are fighting Chihiro in this moment were personally selected by Hirohiko. So they're, you know, no chumps here. Then Chihiro realizes that Hirohiko might be controlling them remotely with his papers. And as one of them is about to blindside Chihiro, he just turns around and just cuts his head off. And they wind up busting through the theater where Hirohiko was chilling. And he realizes that time is an issue with using this temporary Datenseki that Shoujo made. Because considering how short it is, and it ultimately ends with you dying, you can never like become a master with it. And that's why Chihiro is so special. Because for the last 3 years, he's been only training with Enten, like the enchanted blade. So he's one of the very few people in the world who is an enchanted blade master. Then as everyone in the theater is like running in fear, you know, since Chihiro just decapitated a bunch of guys in front of them, Hirohiko's like, you know, don't you feel it? To the average person, you're a monster. And Chihiro's like, you know, whose fault's that? Don't you see? And Hirohiko's like, I'm the only one who can understand you. And Chihiro says, cut the BS. And that's where the chapter ends. So I suppose we might get a, I don't want to say talk no jutsu moment, but we might get a moment here where Chihiro can break through to Hirohiko and get him to spill some beans about the Hisaku, maybe accidentally. Maybe push him emotionally to have a slip up. Hey, but real quick, guys, you should check out Gamer Supps in case you haven't already. They're a great energy supplement that can help you with gaming, studying, or anything that really you want to do. They come in caffeine and caffeine free, and they also have nootropics in it like L-theanine, L-tyrosine, and choline L-bitartrate. So it's not just, you know, regular caffeine. It makes you really feel good and focused. If you're looking for a tub to buy, check out the new flavor Nuclear Bombsicle by Casio. It tastes just like a bombsicle. This is already one of my favorite flavors. They also have these awesome sus bars, which are only 100 calories and only has 1 gram of sugar and 8 grams of protein. My favorite flavor is the chocolate. I cannot get enough of these things. They also have gamer tea in both caffeinated and non-caffeinated. I personally really like the caffeine-free sleepy time with theanine. You can also get some of these awesome gamer soups, which I absolutely love. So guys, check the link in the description and make sure to use code BIGZ for 10% off. Thanks, guys. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. Do you think that Hirohiko is going to turn, like legitimately become like a good guy at some point, or is he just like a psychopath and this is just him being crazy? Or do you think that Chihiro is actually going to get legitimate, substantial information out of him? Or is he just going to die like most of the other villains in this series so far? Let me know. And if you like the video, please give it a like and please subscribe if you haven't already. Have a great day and I'll see you in the next one.